Hi, I'm Andrea from A to Z Homeschooling, and today we're going to be talking about STEM education and homeschooling. So what is STEM? STEM stands for science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Two of those terms you know and are probably subjects that you're already covering in your homeschool. However, technology and engineering might be different terms or something you haven't considered in relation to homeschooling. However, I bet your children have already had exposure to both. So the part we're going to look at is S for science. Science is something that we're all used to learning about through the world around us and maybe science experiments. You and your children may have already participated in science fairs at some point. Science is something that we can add through nature, through cooking, and just generally being curious about the world. Next, we're going to look at the T, which is technology. You are watching this workshop on technology. Maybe it's your computer, your tablet, or even your cell phone, but these are all technologies that someone has built, and we are all using programs that someone has coded. You may be familiar with the term coding or computer science or even the term programming. These are all under the umbrella term of technology. Next, we're going to look at the E in STEM, which is engineering. And this is one that a lot of parents will make a face on. Engineering? Yep, and your children have already been doing this naturally since birth with rocks, blocks, sticks, boxes, and anything else that they can use to build and to stack. Engineering teaches the physics properties. Lastly, we're going to look at the M in STEM, which is math, and we are all familiar with math. It is a dreaded subject for a lot of children and a lot of parents and a lot of homeschoolers in general, but I'm going to show you how you can make it a little more fun using STEM later on. So why add STEM? STEM helps your children think critically. Each aspect of STEM requires your child to think about problem solving and how to overcome the issue at hand, which is a valuable life skill. STEM also gives your children a different way to learn. And STEM education isn't about textbooks or workbooks or even a computer screen, but about getting hands-on experiences with these subjects. The problem solving and the hands-on learning can also help unlock your child's imagination and creativity, which will allow them to start to think outside the box and relate these subjects back to the real world around them. So now you know a little bit more about STEM and why we need to add it to our homeschooling. Now we need to talk about the how. How do we add these hands-on activities with our children? One easy way to do this is through natural interactions with the world around you. Look for problems in your everyday life and encourage your children to help think of ways to solve it. It can be as simple as how can we keep our lunch cool when we go to the park? Or how can we feed the cats if we go off on a hike for a while? Can we make an automated feeder? Can we make some way of releasing food at a specific time? Think about problems in your everyday life and ways to get your kids thinking critically about solving them. Another way that we can include STEM into our homeschooling is by encouraging our children through makerspaces. And we have a makerspace start list that's included into the free bundle that comes with this workshop so that you can kind of see some items and some supplies to help get you started making a makerspace. Makerspaces do not need to be elaborate or expensive. Many of the items that you can include into your makerspace that will help your children start to think creatively and start to build and practice some engineering properties will be things you have around the house or things that you might be throwing away or putting in recycling. Another way you can include STEM into homeschooling is just through observation. Helping your kids observe the world around them can help them get interested in some of the STEM concepts that's in everyday life. Like, how does that elevator work? How does the bridge hold up all those cars? How does the water freeze in the refrigerator? Use these moments to help guide the inquiry and guide your children through the creative thinking about how these items work in relation to STEM. I know all those things sound good, but what are some things you can do today with your children to get them learning about STEM? So we're going to look at a few things you can do right now, today, right after this workshop with your children. The first really easy thing you can do is cooking. Cooking involves many science properties and lots of math and lots of problem solving. Um, your children will be learning so many different concepts while cooking, but cooking is one of the easiest things you can do today that will bring STEM concepts into your child's life. On A to Z Homeschooling, we have different ways about kitchen science and things that can help give you ideas and activities to try, but start with cooking, start with dinner. Another way to add STEM today is through building. If you have the items, make a birdhouse, make a bird feeder, or use our challenge cards that's included in the workshop free printable bundle and have encouraged them to build and make the things on those cards. You can make a structure out of paper and see how many books it can hold. Just think about building and creating the engineering aspects. That's a really good way to start today. Another really great way you can get started today is to let your children explore breaking things. And I promise that's not what that sounds like. Go to yard sales, find things around your house that you've been meaning to get rid of that are broken or isn't working or that you want rid of, and let your children take them apart. Let them look inside of them. Let them see how they work. Things that are really good to use are toasters, lamps, computers, old cell phones. Let them take them apart and look at the components that make each of these up. And that will help them see kind of the engineering and science behind some of the things they use every single day. Once you are incorporating these ideas into your homeschooling, you can start to expand on the level of STEM learning with more focused curriculum ideas and start things even like STEM fairs. We have an online homeschool STEM fair coming up that would be a great opportunity to get you and your homeschooler started in STEM learning and expanding on these topics. We have more information on our free homeschool STEM fair with the STEM bundle download included with this workshop if you're interested. And so the last thing before we finish up, Where can you find out more about STEM? We have a whole bunch of information about STEM over on A to Z Homeschooling, along with book recommendations and other resources for activities that can help you add more STEM into your homeschooling. So now I'm going to talk about what's included in our STEM homeschool bundle. That's our free printable that's included with this workshop. The first thing that is included in our STEM homeschool bundle is our Makerspace start list. And this can help you create a place or a container. It doesn't have to be a specific place in your house. A lot of homeschoolers will do a Rubbermaid tote or just a box somewhere that you can pull out or that your kids can pull out when they are feeling creative and are ready to do some STEM. This Makerspace start list creates basic supplies that you'll probably have around the house already, or that's easy to find at a dollar store, with also some advanced supplies for when your kids kind of move on and want to do some more challenging things. Your basic supplies can be things like paper clips, glue, craft sticks, paint, maybe things that you have around the house that you might be ready to throw away, like old CDs, some Play-Doh, old paintbrushes, regular paintbrushes, some advanced supplies that are kind of on a list, needle and thread, hardware pieces like hinges and knobs, and even like things that you can purchase like a doodle pen. The next thing we have in our STEM homeschool bundle are STEM challenge cards, and these are ready to go ideas for you to print out and use today. These cards you can cut out and use them like they are, or you can laminate them if you want to use them over and over. I know a lot of homeschoolers like to use these almost like boredom busters or to break up their other homeschooling curriculum. A lot of homeschoolers like to use these during the summer for summer fun learning. However you choose to use them, this will include more STEM into your homeschooler's day. There are things on these cards like creating a tower out of toothpicks and marshmallows or gumdrops. Make a house out of blocks. Find a cardboard box and use it to make anything you want. And then I also have included a blank sheet of cards so that you and your homeschoolers can come up with other STEM activities and other STEM challenges to include. That is a STEM idea on its own because it is challenging your homeschoolers to think creatively. So include them on that last page. Think of things that would be fun, building, science, math, engineering, technology related that you could add as a STEM challenge. So the last part of our STEM homeschool bundle is our Get Inspired workbook. And this workbook is what we give out at the beginning of our STEM fair planning. This will help guide you through the planning of your project and what kind of project you might want to do. So it's useful if you want to join us for a STEM fair, but it's also very useful just to have in general to get some ideas of how you can include STEM into your homeschooling. Maybe some starting question ideas to help you plan some projects of your own. So our first page is explaining what is a STEM fair project. They differ from a science project, and we tell you how and kind of get you in that mindset. Then we break down the different types of projects and the methods to use for each, because we have the scientific method, we have the technology method, we have the engineering method, and we break down how each of those work. And then math we include in all of them, so that's not a specific separate project method. Then we have the project planning pages, and these pages can help your children think about what type of project they might want to do, We have a page on science investigations, technology investigations, and engineering investigations, and some starting questions that can help them get an idea of what each section's about and maybe inspire them to think of their own. And in the project planning pages, they can write down their own questions, write down what they think they might need and how they're going to plan it out. And in the very last page, we have the timeline for our A to Z online homeschool STEM fair. We encourage you to join us. It is completely free, open to all homeschoolers. It is online. All you have to do is upload a video. We have all the information on our site, and the link is included in the booklet so that you can find us. Entries start on August 16th. You have plenty of time from then, and we do not start judging until middle of October. So plenty of time to start, create, and finish your project and get it submitted. But all that information is included into the workbook along with other information and the link to the site, which has a lot of resources available for you too. And that's all for my workshop today. I hope you have learned a little bit more about STEM and what it's about and why you need to include it into your homeschooling. Happy homeschooling and happy back to homeschooling, everyone.